and I was mayor of the city from 1985 until 2010. So I have, you could say, I have had quite some years, and I've enjoyed it because what I think is important is that we can work together with each other in Danish democracy, also local democracy. And apart from that, I've been elected as a member of what is called the European Commission of Regions on behalf of Danish local authorities, and we host our meetings in Brussels. But so it's just not only the local aspect, but also the international aspect I've been working with, and thereby I had the pleasure of being member of the city of the Committee of Regions, together with Prime Minister, as a matter of fact, of Portugal. So he was there before. So before he was Prime Minister in Portugal. So that is my way in politics. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Giovanna.
My name is Giovanna. I'm Brazilian, and I'm 35. So you've been in politics like longer than I've been on Earth.
Then.
And I've lived in Denmark for 10 years now, a little bit more than 10 years, always in Kolding.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a diagnosis of bipolar, so I got very sick after I came here. So I've been really inside my shell, trying to heal and to get better. And finally now I'm like crossed this road, and I got a flex job, and I'm working, and I'm starting to look a little bit more outside, because I think that for the past years I've been just like looking to myself and thinking about myself. So I'm starting to get more interested in in politics, and to see how I can help and how I can integrate in the society I live in. So.
Fine. Okay.
So Giovanna, do you have some questions ready for Per?
Yeah. Again, what's party are you?
I'm a social democrat.
Yeah. I don't remember if you mentioned, but I have some.
I didn't. I'm sorry, but I didn't. No.
I have sometimes some short.
Yeah. Fine.
Memories. Are you running for? Are you candidating this year?
Yes, I'm campaigning. I'm running for election. Yes.
Yes, and what's are your plans? What are your proposals? I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you and your, how do you say in English, party? Your
yes, party.
Yeah, what you have in mind? What are the plans? And then I'd like to make some questions.
Yes, certainly. Well, I also told you that I have been mayor, so therefore, and for 24 years, so therefore, I see the local authority and its services as a whole. I'm not, focused on one thing. It might be culture, or it might be youth, or it might be elderly people. To me, the local authority is serving its whole population, meaning that we do have challenges to cope with, but you cannot just say one of these items might be more important than the others. But of course, every local authority has a problem, and in my city, in Kolding, I think we have been not neglecting, but we have not been adequately aware of the need for better conditions for our children, not so much in kindergartens as in the primary school system, and that we have to be we have to focus on that for the coming years. And then we in our city, yes.
Can you be a little bit more specific in how you're neglecting the children?
Yes, I can, because we had some trouble in the you could say the administration of the whole area, meaning that suddenly we found out that around 30 million Danish crowns had not vanished, because they were used, of course, but we should have been more, you could say, specific, concrete in the use of these money. So therefore, if you take the national paper on how much do we use for schooling, for education in primary school, then you would see that Kolding is just in the bottom. We're not in the top, we're just in the bottom. And I'm sorry to say that. We do have quite good results, as a matter of fact, but we cannot stay in that line, because then you'll erode the system. And that erosion shall stop now, because otherwise we'll have a gap, and it'll be even more difficult to fill up that gap. So therefore, it is important that we give that we are very much aware, that we give the awareness to the primary school system for the coming period and the coming couple of periods, I guess, because I mean it's an evolution as well in the schooling system, in the educational system, as it is in other systems. So that is a challenge, I must confess, yes.
Yeah. And you also say something else when I interrupted you, so you can just continue and.
No, you're welcome to yes. Yeah, but well, I can, yes, of course I can continue, because we know that in our city and in our country, just like in Portugal, for example, we know that the amount of elderly people is rising. And that is, of course, it's a quite natural thing. We hope, me being an elderly guy as well, of course, I hope to have a good life as long as I'm here. And therefore, we have, you could say, we have the line saying that in 2031, we're having about 40% more elderly people above 80 years of age. And hopefully and luckily, we are in better health conditions now than ever before in that group, in that age group of people. But of course, some of us are going to need help. Some of us are going to need a nursing home or whatever, and that, of course, is to be also to be planned, and not only in building the facilities, but also in having the necessary economic power to do so. So these two things are, you could say, that is with us, and that is in other countries as well. These are challenges that we have to cope with.
Yes. I have also been thinking about these, and I have divorced recently. So I live in another area now, but I lived for, I think, about 7 years in an area of Andesboliger. I don't know how to say that in English, but like those, there are a lot of elderly people. And I felt that they were alone, and that they felt alone. And I know that there are some places for socialization, but I think that these should be a little bit stronger here. And I actually have been, I love to dance. Like I love music and I love to dance, and I think that it is what that's why I'm still alive, because I've been through a lot of things in my life, and what really keeps me going is like music. And then I think that it's impossible to listen to something, for me at least, and not move to. And I think that there should be more campaigns to elderly. And I actually would like now that that my life is more or less in place. I've got a job now. I'm mentally stable. I'd like actually to volunteer to gather like the elderly people that are feeling alone at home, and dance and give them not only a fitness but also like this energy of life.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's been an idea. I just do not know how to start and like where.
But I have an answer. Yes, I have an answer to you, because now I got from you, Louise, the mail addresses, and I do have your mail address as well, because we do have quite a lot of different facilities for the elderly people, and also offers for the elderly people. And it would be ever so nice if you would be a volunteer in that area as well. But that would be quite nice. But you're right. Some of our elderly people are feeling alone, and that is a challenge, because you're still yourself as long as you live, and some of them do not. It's difficult for them, you could say, to break out of these borders they have created for themselves, maybe just to open the front door. And therefore, our service for the elderly people is also to check if we have a possibility of, you could say, inviting them to a dance party, or it might be knitting socks for the grandchildren or whatever, but to be in a social community with other elderly people. And so that would be, we do have it, and I'm quite sure that you would be ever so welcome.
But are these marketed enough? Because I also, I think about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I have heard about a project that they have here in Kolding named Borger til Borger. And like I have been in psychiatry for 10 years since I came to Kolding, and I have never heard about that before. I have never been offered that before. And then like a year and a half ago, I don't remember who, but one of my contacts told me about this house that they have. And people, not that I do not feel alone. I do not actually like need that that much. I have a dog, and I also enjoy like being alone. But I have never heard of that before, and I know that there are other people just like me that have some psychological vulnerability, and that they might use that, and they also, apart from the house where there are different activities, they have like this a program like Borger til Borger specifically, where you can get a mentor and you can get someone. And I have been a volunteer for a while. I had to stop because I was with my process at job center to get flex job, and I could not manage both. But I don't think that there is market enough, there is information enough about that. And I also think that the community needs to invest a little bit more of money in that area. I have volunteered after. I have been a mentor for a while, And then I had to stop because I was also in practice and having my process with job center, and then I just had to stop. But I still volunteered to dance with them, and I have been invited a couple of times and it was a big success. And I'd like actually to get hired and to be there and have that as a fixed, like a fast. But they do not have resources anymore to offer that. And I think that could expand a little more. That project could expand a little more. I think that there are many more citizens that could benefit from that. That's yeah.
Okay. But I think that we might have a bit of not a problem, but if you told me that you had some treatment, psychological treatment, I guess, eh? And that is not the local authorities, that is the region, as a matter of fact. So we should be better. I do agree, we should be much better to coordinate the efforts towards the citizen between the local authorities and the regional authorities, because that is one of the you could say. It's quite obvious to do so, but then we do have to be better also in our communication with the practitioners, the doctors, the physicians, because they might be the first to be aware of loneliness or some sort of disease that could be maybe treated in another way. So you point out some of the challenges we also do have, and we should be better to handle. But I could just say that in Kolding we have 20. You could call them. We call them houses for elderly people, but 20 meeting places, and these meeting places, they are self-governed by the elderly people. So and they are also, we are paying for the rent and so on. So the physical facilities, they are there, and then we have two people employed to facilitate these 20 different houses. And I should like to connect you to one of them, because then you could tell what you might feel you could participate with as a volunteer in that system. And then we do have quite a lot of other volunteers in our elderly homes and so on. So we do have, I guess we have about 5 million Danish crowns for these activities alone in Kolding Kommune. So it's not that, it might be that some of them might wish to have more money, more economical facilities, of course, and that's well, they'll have to talk their case then. But we do have the facilities, we do have the staff, and we do have the money. So therefore, I should very much like to help you to contact one of these two facilitators. I think it's a good thing to do.
I think that we, in my mind, I think that we should try to integrate also like young people and also other people. So it's not like segregated. It's just like old. I think that they also like to interact, and then we have like this exchange. But
And that is also, I might say, that is also, of course, I just mentioned what is done to that specific area of our budget in the local authorities in our commune. But of course, we do have a lot of associations also serving both young people and elderly people, and mingle them up. If you take for example, all the cultural associations, they are not looking upon your birth certificate. They welcome you the age you have, and that is in the other associations, that is nearly the same. Of course, it might be that me being 75, I should not go for an Ironman, but on the other hand, then I could participate in another way. Let's go.
So we have 15 minutes left, so you guys go ahead.
Yeah. Can I make a question about something I'm concerned about calling, and to see if you and your partner have some ideas? It's about the environment, and I know that we have improved a lot, and we have now in calling at home. I haven't spoken English in a long time. Garbage, like to organic things, like the green one, and but I think that we still needed to do much more in that regard. Do you have any plans for that? Recycle bins on the street. I think that I don't know if it's impression, but I have been here for 10 years, and I have felt that the city is becoming like more and more dirty.
Yeah, and you're quite right. And well, I'm ashamed to say that I also feel ashamed sometimes by my own city when I go around in the streets. So therefore, we have tried a new system, and if you go Jernbanegade, down to the railway station, the broad end, there you can see some of these new bins, but they are, as a matter of fact, they are in a hole in the earth there. And of course, you can put things in them, and they are, you could say, high tech. It's not high tech, but they are technological in a way that we can see when they are nearly filled. When they are nearly full, then we can send somebody to fetch what's in them. And we shall do more about that, and we should also have a better, you could say, cleaning of the city. And then I think we should also maybe tell people to be a little bit more, you could say, cleaning up people themselves, because I mean the garbage and the scrap is not coming by itself; it's coming by us.
No. Yeah.
So therefore, it would be ever so nice if we could have. It's not only young people; it's all categories. If we could have all categories to say we are not just dropping the glass bottle, and we have that lying around. We're not just dropping the pack of cigarette or the chewing gum. As a matter of fact, we remember that we do have a recycle bin standing over there. So go there and put your garbage, your chewing gum, your whatever in the garbage bin. I do agree with you. It would be ever so nice, and we should do more about it.
Yeah, I think that we should more, as you said, it's not only a matter that you are not cleaning up the city, but people are doing it, and we should have more campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live in a place now, and I get actually a little bit, I wouldn't say angry, but there are many foreigners, and there is, they ask us not to throw like big things in the normal garbage. There is, in a street beside, there is a container where people can throw like, if you move like boxes and stuff like that, and people do it here. And I get a little bit angry, yes, because like then it looks like foreigners do this and we come here to like a mess up. So I think that we need, and also for nationals, but I think that it would be interesting with more campaigns so we can, take care of the city, of the environment.
But you know, I don't think it has anything to do with skin color or nationality or language or spoken or whatever. It's a question of for all of us. And what I have noticed is that quite a lot of these pizza trays, they were too big for the old bins. And then we have, as a local authority, as Kommune, of course, we have to adapt to new times. So we have to find another lid for the bin so that the pizza tray can also go down there. You know, it's very easy and very basic, as a matter of fact, to find the solution. It just has to be done. And then if we could all help each other saying, please don't throw your garbage there, just go over to the bin. I too agree, it would be ever so nice. And parents should tell their children, and we as grandparents should tell our grandchildren, don't do it. But I have noticed that my grandchildren, they are the ones telling me, you have to be more aware of climate, you have to be more aware of the recycling, the necessity of recycling as a matter of fact. So I do have quite a lot of hope for the future. But in the daily business, we should be better handling, you could say, our own ways of doing things.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Actually,
you have decided that you will cast your. I'm not asking for. Yes, of course, I'm asking everybody for votes, but I hope what is most interesting for me, as a matter of fact, is that we use the possibility. I just said to Louise, it's not only a possibility. I think it's a duty to cast the vote in an election. And if you have the possibility at local elections, I guess you do not have it in the national elections yet, but anyhow, in local elections you can do it. And I hope that you and your fellow calling people will from abroad will do it as well, because it's very important.
I have voted at last elections, and so
that's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
So it's so important.
And hopefully,
I just, as a matter of fact, I just got information about the elections in Portugal yesterday, being a member of this the Committee of Regions. So I saw how it went, and I think it's very important. Also, all over, of course. So I could, of course, send a message to Da Costa and say, well, congratulations. It was a good. You did the duty of an election also in Portugal. Where do you come from in Portugal?
I come from Brazil.
You come from Brazil. Oh, that's why you call you. Of course, yes. I didn't. Yeah. Of course you.
That's why I love that.
Portuguese in Brazil. Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Any more questions? I'm here.
Well, I don't know if we have like that.
You have a room for a last question, Giovanna. So.
But just to clarify, when I say about like foreigners doing it, and there is, as you say, nothing to do with the skin color, but I think that when a foreigner do something wrong, then it's much heavier. It gets much on the spot. Yeah. Like if a Danish, if a blonde girl, if a national is doing something wrong, maybe people will think that it's not that nice. But if they see like a Muslim doing it, then it comes like much stronger, and the little beast, the racist beast sleeping inside of us might come, and you think, oh yeah, they come here to our country to do these and these and these. So for me as a foreigner, it's very important, like to do the right things and to to try to make people see that I love being here. I love Denmark, and the country has I have some complaints about the health system, especially in psychiatry, but the country has been taking good care of me. I'm very thankful.
But I think, Giovanna, I could just say that I would still say that to me it's not a question of skin color or nationality. But you're right, it's always the other's fault, eh? And I could give you an example. We have a discussion about people driving too fast, passing schools in the morning. It's dangerous for the children, for the pupils, eh? In my local area, it is always the people from the other part of the city driving too fast. It's not me. It's not my neighbors. So this is, you could compare that. Of course, we look upon the others and say, well, I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy. But we all know that is not the way it is. But you might have a point, but we should all participate. And you have also just said that it is a question of participating. It is a question of being a citizen, a good citizen, in the city, in the local area where you live. And that is not attached to skin color or nationality, to me.